The girl never expected that an ordinary lavender could sell for 5 million per flower. Yet people not only did not mind the high price, but instead rushed to buy. Even the top-ranked interstellar marshal couldn't resist transforming into a golden butterfly, sneaking into the backyard to greedily inhale the lavender fragrance, all because 5,000 years ago, war nuclear radiation caused all plants in the interstellar realm to go extinct. While Ling Ran, who was attending Earth Agricultural University, unexpectedly transmigrated to become the owner of a fake flower shop in the future interstellar world. At this moment, Ling Ran discovered there was an idle plot of empty land in the flower shop's backyard. Ling Ran, being from the Great Jia country on Earth, a farming-loving DNA-driven individual, Ling Ran temporarily assembled a hoe from the warehouse, loosened the soil of the empty plot, but now Ling Ran began to worry. This interstellar world simply cannot buy seeds. Interstellar plants have all gone extinct. The remaining seeds are all mutated, enshrined like antiques in interstellar research institutes and civilization museums. Ordinary people have no chance to touch them. Suddenly a faint wisp of lavender drifted into her nostrils. Ling Ran instinctively lowered her head and saw hanging on her chest that small glass bottle containing 2 blue lavender dried flowers, over a dozen lavender seeds. Ling Ran happily took the glass bottle in her hand. This thing actually followed me through. She poured out over a dozen lavender seeds. These are unpolluted seeds from Earth. Let's see if they can sprout successfully. The flower shop's business is very quiet, at most 2 or 3 customers a day. This day, the flower shop came a little hamster nurse. Boss, buy a bouquet of roses. In this interstellar world, people basically all have morphs. Only with a morph can one awaken a psychic level and become a qualified Federation citizen. Ling Ran does not have a morph, so naturally cannot awaken psychic abilities. Thanks to her and arranging this easy job, Ling Ran isn't reduced to begging on the streets. She heard that in the ancient star era, roses represented love. The little hamster nurse held the plastic roses, eyes shining. Marshal Chi Ming was severely injured defending the Federation in the M to Stargate battle. Currently, he was recuperating at the sanatorium in District 7. He was Ling Ran, the most handsome, powerful, and respectable hero in the Su Travel Star system, and he had also seen it. The news report, never expecting that the certain star and certain sanatorium mentioned in the news alongside Yan Buxiang was this very one next door, the little hamster nurse. After leaving, Ling Ran went to the small supermarket next door and bought a nutrition bar for lunch. It was terrible. Ling Ran sighed. This nutrition bar's label said it was orange flavor, but in reality it contained added industrial flavoring, far removed from real oranges. Spirit plants have been extinct in the interstellar realm for over 5,000 years, so how could they possibly simulate the taste of an orange? Ling Ran had crossed over from Earth 2 weeks ago and drank a nutrition bar every day, feeling like he was turning into an idiot from it. The last half tube, he really couldn't drink it. Ling Ran looked at the ingredients. The nutrient solution contained nitrogen and potassium, which are also nutrients needed for plant growth. Ling Ran walked to the backyard and fetched a water basin, squeezed the nutrient solution into it, diluted it according to a certain ratio, and then used it as fertilizer to water the flowers. Ling Ran looked at the precious lavender plants in the small courtyard flower bed, feeling a strange sense of satisfaction. The lavender's planting cycle is 2 weeks, and they should bloom soon. One night, a few days later, a faint scent of lavender flowers mixed with the smell of grass wafted out from the backyard of Happy Flower Shop. Lavender, as the king of spices, can soothe people's anxiety, relaxing people's mental. Flower shop surrounding neighbors smell the faint floral scent, having a high-quality sleep. A golden-winged singing butterfly is attracted by the faint lavender floral scent from the 7th District's Special Care Ward. Secretly flew to the flower shop's backyard, its head's antennae bury into the lavender's purple flowers, almost greedily inhaling the refreshing floral scent. Not long after, Gloomwing, under the influence of the lavender floral scent, enters an unprecedented state of tranquility. State tattered butterfly wings close behind, entering dreamland. The next day, Ling Ran got up very early. The first thing was to go to the backyard to check on her precious lavender. Looking at the already blooming lavender, Ling Ran was overjoyed. Never expected interstellar nutrient solution could accelerate plant growth speed here. How is there a butterfly? Ling Ran had never seen such a beautiful butterfly. Left side tattered and broken, 1/3 fractured, the wound pitifully curled up. The golden-winged singing butterfly seemed to sense something lifting its head from the lavender flower, gazing at the girl before it who disturbed its sleep. Ling Ran exclaimed, Little butterfly, so pretty little butterfly if not. Severely injured, unable to maintain human form, regressed to mimicry. And still a juvenile butterfly mimicry, how could it possibly be so small, such a magical species, you do furry? When it was a caterpillar, was it also golden? It had no idea that this was the #1 in combat power in the Su travel star system. Gloomwing's mimicry Ling Ran subconsciously still felt like it was on Earth when planting farmland and flower beds on Earth generally. It would attract butterflies, bees, and golden-winged chirping. The butterfly thought she was a bit noisy. What caterpillar? It is not an insectoid. It never had that form. It was a butterfly from birth, the interstellar butterfly. Tribe is not insectoid. Gloomwing buried its head into the lavender stamen again, smelling the scent that fascinates butterflies, and sank back into dreamland. It wanted to make up for the insomnia of the past few months, sleeping its fill among the flowers. Lavender is a multi-branched plant. One lavender plant can branch out into at least 20 branches, and on each branch 6 to 10 flowers bloom. So, in this small flower bed, only 14 plants were planted. But there were over 200 branches. Ling Ran gently cut 10 lavender branches, deciding to try selling them in the flower shop first. To see the effect, returning to the front hall, Ling Ran made the lavender into single stem bouquets. Ding, the flower shop's automatic door opened, welcoming the first customer of the morning. I want a lavender and blue rose crystal flower basket. The flower basket is a relatively expensive item in the shop, depending on the material. Crystal carved artificial flower crafts are a bit more expensive than plastic flowers. Ling ran from the right crystal. A crystal flower basket was taken out from the cabinet and handed to the customer. Just as the customer was about to pay, they were deeply attracted by the lavender bouquet on the shelf. Deeply captivated, holding their breath, an exclamation. What is this? So beautiful, and all those inorganic, lifeless fake flowers are different. This bunch of lavender exudes a vibrant vitality. The guest just took a sniff, and their sensory nerves and mood were soothed by this unique, subtle floral fragrance. Seeing that this unique bunch of lavender fake flowers had no price tag, the guest proactively offered. Shop owner, will you sell it for 10,000 coins? Ling Ran was quite surprised. 10,000 coins, a single branch of lavender could sell for $10,000. Isn't this money too easy to make? Is it okay, shop owner? I only brought 10,000 coins from nearby college student. After I go back, I will promote you among my classmates. The male college student customer left excitedly after paying the bill, still humming a cheerful little tune while Ling Ran was staring at the prompt on the cash register, indicating a deposit of 10,000 coins. She instantly became full of confidence for the future, so she took out a sticker and placed it on the lavender bouquet. The shelf was labeled with a price of 500 coins. At this moment, the 7th convalescent home not far away entered a red alert state. Doctors, nurses, and the director were all panic-stricken, their faces pale as they stood at the door of a special intensive care unit. This ward used the special structure of the yin-yang ion isolation layer, which could block all psychic attacks. It was specifically designed for patients whose psychic powers had run wild and gone out of control. The director's face was deathly pale, staring at the steel inner walls of the ward, which were covered with deep, crisscrossing psychic divine power. Scratched Qiming Yuan Shuai. How did he disappear? It's very obvious that Qiming, who lived here, had an extremely severe the situation was extremely severe at the time. Even the cosmic metal Wang, reputed to be the hardest in the Sulu star system, could not escape being affected by his formidable psychic power. The fate of Severance, the chief physician, is also startled and panicked. Already tested, there are traces of psychic cutting on the recuperation pod door. Marshal Qiming should have been lying in the supersensory recuperation pod before fleeing. What caught his attention, causing him to directly go berserk? Destroyed the recuperation pod and escaped, responsible for protection. Guard Inua's expression is extremely serious. To the mayor of Kingshan City, apply for a city-wide search warrant. The director immediately vetoes. No, first search nearby for Marshall. He is injured so severely, should not have run far. Once the mayor is alarmed, then the 7th District Sanatorium will inevitably bear heavy responsibility. Although Qiming has retired from the front lines, but he is still the great hero of the entire Suzhou star system, with fans and supporters numbering in the billions. Once the news of his disappearance leaks, the 7th district will definitely be blasted into a sieve by furious netizens on the Star Network. All the doctors and nurses of that 7th district sanatorium have been mobilized, conducting a carpet search around the sanatorium, and all the shops on the small streets have been investigated. The director's face became increasingly worse, looking towards a very inconspicuous small shop at the end of the street. Only this Tushin flower shop is left, go check it out. Guard Arnold corrected. Dean, it's happiness the flower shop. Dean focused and looked, then awkwardly cleared his throat. It turned out the colored lights were broken. Sorry about that, I'm getting old, my presbyopia makes it hard to see clearly. As the guard just entered the flower shop, a unique, elegant fragrance wafted over, refreshing his spirit, which had been frazzled from searching for his superior. Welcome to Happiness Flower Shop. Do you need to buy flowers? Hearing the voice, Guard Arnold looked up and saw a young girl at the checkout counter smiling as she arranged a bouquet of blue-purple flowers. Those flowers were very peculiar, with soft branches and leaves full of astonishing vitality, completely different from common artificial flowers, plastic fake flowers, silver fake flowers, crystal fake flowers, gemstone fake flowers. In the flower shops of the Sulu star system, there are generally only these four types, but in this Happiness Flower Shop, displayed in the cabinets besides these four, there is a fifth type. Not buying, looking for someone. Sorry, guest. As you can see, in my small shop, besides me and you, there's no one else. Lin Ran politely replied. He had been cramming knowledge about this interstellar world the past 2 days and knew that the tall man before him was dressed in the red uniform of the Interstellar Federation Army. On his shoulder was a white bar, indicating he was a sergeant first class, the highest rank among soldiers. Arnold asked seriously, have you seen Marshal Chi-Ming in the shop? Seen him, of course. He just don't place any hope on this remote little flower shop. How could you forget? What Marshal Chi-Ming hates the most is hypocrisy. Spent every time someone sends a bouquet over, the marshal gets furious. Right at this moment, the flower shop's door opened again. In came a few young university students wearing the uniform of Kingshan University, faces full of youthful collagen, their eyes clear and innocent, clearly having never experienced the cruel baptism of the interstellar battlefield. This must be the Happy Flower Shop Xiao Chen mentioned, right? The bouquet of lavender Xiao Chen bought was really beautiful. I want to buy a bunch too, to go back and try to make flowers like it. Xiao Chen also said that bouquet of lavender seemed like flowers blooming from genuine spiritual plants of ancient times. He bought it for just 10,000 star coins, making a huge profit. Talking nonsense. If it really is a plant that went extinct 5,000 years ago, how could it possibly be sold for just 10,000 stars coin? At least 50,000. Lin Ran felt a bead of cold sweat roll down his temple. A single lavender sprig selling for 50,000. Isn't that just crazy? The lavender plants in the backyard wouldn't take more than a month. He could double the number of plants through the method of stem cuttings. Shopkeeper, I want bunches of lavender. Shopkeeper, give me 1 bunch. I want 5 bunches. Can they be tied together? I want to depict flowers in a lush, clustered feeling. Lin Ran knew business had arrived, feeling very happy inside. Please, wait a moment. The quantity you want might not be fully available here. I'll go to the backyard to get some more. Lin Ran bent down, using silver shears to cut a single blooming lavender sprig branch, selected a few of the best blooming ones, cut them down one by one. Gloomwing seemed to be startled awake on the oval flower branch tip, its remaining wings slightly moved. The marshal was somewhat dazed. Why did this girl overturn the bed it was sleeping on? Lin Ran completely didn't understand what Gloomwing was thinking. He was concerned about the customers waiting in the front shop, so he quickly trimmed the lavender flower branches after Lin Ran finished cutting. Just as he was about to return to the front hall, he looked down and found that beautiful golden butterfly squatting on the flower. He couldn't help but chuckle softly. Why did you follow me? Do you want me to sell you too? Gloomwing's wings slightly moved. Trafficking the marshal of the Sulix galaxy is a serious crime. It suffers from severe mental power turbulence, and as its wings moved, carrying mental power, it brushed past Lin Ran's cheek by 2 centimeters and flew past. Not far behind on the courtyard wall, it left a deep mark. The golden Yumingdi looked at the mark, somewhat annoyed that it was injured too severely. Psychic energy easily went out of control. He would probably drive it out of the flower bed, but Lin Ran showed no reaction at all, as if he hadn't sensed the psychic attack at all. Gloomwing was stunned. He didn't realize only the lowest tier Federation citizens, those born disabled and unable to awaken psychic energy, could not perceive psychic energy. Could this flower tending girl possibly be a disabled person? The marshal's current mood was particularly complex. It was still immersed in the shock that Lin Ran might be born disabled. How could someone born disabled cultivate such perfect real flowers? You must know The National Plant Gene Research Institute spends billions of funds annually, those high-intelligence doctors with S-level mental power, having painstakingly researched the revival of spiritual plants for hundreds of years. There has never been success. You can live in my little flower garden from now on. It won't be long before this place turns into a large garden. You can freely fly among the abundant flowers. Upon hearing this, Gloomwing, this flower-tending girl, had given it permission to reside. It had lost control and almost hurt her, yet she hadn't driven it away. Lin ran, walked in holding the flowers into the shop front of the front hall. Shopkeeper, you've come. These 6 new lavender stems seem even better than the ones displayed in the crystal cabinet. Freshly picked, naturally they bloom well. Lin ran bundled the wrapped lavender into a bouquet and handed it to the 5 art student customers. People deposit 50,000 coins, deposit 20,000 coins. The sound of the cash register continuously and unceasingly rings, very pleasant to the ear. The money is quite full. It can be considered a peak moment for Fortune Florist, but he did not notice that the person who had come looking for someone earlier, Federal Sergeant, is still in the shop, hasn't left. Guard Arnold stared at the golden, broken-winged butterfly that emerged with the female shopkeeper, his eyes wide, so shocked he nearly lost his voice. It couldn't be wrong. That powerful golden butterfly wing could slice an enemy Zerg warship in two. Arnold was extremely agitated. His palms and forehead were covered in hot sweat. Why, you want? Gloomwing glanced over, and Arnold felt an immense mental pressure, having followed the marshal on battlefields for many years. Arnold knew all too well what a single glance from the other meant. The implied meaning, Marshal, the Lord told him to shut up. Lin ran because he couldn't sense any psychic power, did not notice the confrontation between this Federation sergeant and that butterfly. He asked with a light smile, this guest, what did you just say? What you want? Arnold wiped the sweat from his forehead. No, shopkeeper, you must have heard wrong, right? Arnold nodded incessantly. Yes, I want to buy the kind of vibrant, energetic purple flowers from just now. Hearing there was business again, Lin Ran happily said, how many? Arnold thought to himself, since this is the flower shop Marshal Chi Ming takes an interest in, then naturally he should take good care of the business. I'll take all 6 stems. Then he paid 3,000 coin. Arnold sighed, feeling the terrifying golden S-rank pressure looming over his head had clearly eased off. Not so scary anymore. Did the right thing. I'll have the brothers come by flowers often. Nuo, holding the 6 lavender stems bundled together, his nose filled with the faint, pleasant, unique lavender fragrance, his tense spear. It inexplicably relaxed. After seeing off the guest, Lin Ran did not idle. He decided to dry the lavender cuttings in just one day today. He sold 20 bouquets, but there are only 14 plants in the backyard, totaling over 200 lavender branches. Selling at this rate, it won't be long before supply can't meet demand. He must expand the planting area and yield. No flower seeds, no problem, they can be taken. The mature lavender small branches were used for cuttings to plant and earned some money. Lin Ran then went to the supermarket on this small street. Buy some tools needed for cuttings, plastic wrap. Where's that kind of thing? The supermarket owner shook his head. That plastic film then, Lin Ran thought. Anyway, when doing cuttings, using film to cover is for moisture retention, warmth, and dust prevention. Using plastic film is the same. Plastic film is available second shelf on the west side. Lin Ran walked over directly, took all 10 plus rolls of plastic film from the shelf. Boss, I want all of these. The supermarket owner was startled. Who needs that much plastic film? Lin Ran just earned 10,000 coin with ample funds and bought 100 nutrition bars. Nutrition bars are unpleasant to eat, but they stave off hunger. Currently, he still had no pots, pans, bowls, or utensils, no ingredients that could be cooked, so he couldn't make his own meals. More importantly, this nutrient solution, when diluted, can be used as fertilizer. It has been verified that it can also accelerate plant growth, shortening the growth cycle by nearly half, somewhat like that growth hormone on Earth. This nutrition bar is the daily sustenance for federal citizens. Even the federal military eats this. Obviously, it contains no harmful additives. Lin Ran returned to the backyard and saw Gloomwing leisurely sunbathing on the lavender flowers. Eyes squinted, motionless. Lin Ran took out silver scissors and a hoe, selecting some mature and plump lavender tender flower branches to cut down. He has checked in this flower bed. The soil is loose, sandy, and slightly acidic, sprinkled with an appropriate amount of water. It is the perfect natural bed for dry cutting cultivation. One by one, they are inserted into the soft, breathable soil using a small spray bottle to mist a thin layer of diluted nutrient solution. Then pulling open the plastic film to cover it, preserving warmth and moisture, busy from dusk, working all the way until dark, the golden wing chirping. Butterfly, having woken up at some unknown time, stares unblinkingly at Lin Ran inserting. The dry cuttings, spirit plants have been extinct for 5,000 years, and the craftsmanship of flower planting and farming naturally hasn't been passed down either, only in some ancient, solitary texts are there sporadic records. The marshal has never seen it. So it's normal to be curious. Lin Ran finished his work, feeling somewhat tired and stretched. Marshal Qiming, seeing this scene, narrowed his eyes. His physical strength is truly poor. With zero spiritual power, it inevitably means his physical constitution is very weak, with no self-preservation ability at all. After finishing his work, Lin Ran took a bath, changed into clean new clothes, felt a bit hungry, so took a nutrition bar as dinner. What does that golden butterfly eat? Flower nectar. But before I came here were no spirit plants or flowers, so it's simply impossible to have fresh flower nectar for the butterfly to satisfy its hunger. Ah well, why think so much about it? Butterflies are wild animals. They can solve their own food and warmth problems. Lin Ran yawned and went back to his room to sleep. Early the next morning, Lin Ran opened the refrigerator and was shocked. 5 of the nutrition bars bought yesterday were missing, and the nutrition inside had been sucked completely clean. Did I sleepwalk last night and eat 5 nutrition bars? That's 5 nutrition bars, enough for an adult. For 2 days, Lin Ran also discovered an extra unexplained amount of coin in the cash register account, totaling 10,000. Did someone transfer it by mistake? Not far away, Gloomwing felt inexplicably guilty, burying its head in the flowers to drink nectar for the past 6 months since it was injured. It had no appetite for anything. Living in the sanatorium, it had always been receiving nutrients through 4 drips to treat its blood vessels. Strangely, after staying a few days in the flower-growing girl's garden, last night it suddenly felt an appetite, a long-lost sensation of. This was the first time in half a year. The nectar was delicious, but the amount was far too little. Just as it tasted it, it was gone. To really satisfy hunger, it had to be nutrition bars. This strange sleepwalking symptom continued to occur over the following week. Every night, 5 or 6 nutrition bars would go missing. Every morning, Lin Ran would question his life. Should I go see a doctor? Eating so many nutrition bars every night might ruin my health. This sleepwalking condition must be treated. The doctor soon came to his door. Right, it's none other than the head of the 7th District Sanatorium, the esteemed Director, I heard from Arnold that the marshal is right here, and I was worried about the Mars. Handsome. For a week without treatment, the condition will worsen. Mental power out of control again. Behind the other side of the checkout counter in Lin Ran's hand is a large bunch of fresh lavender branches just picked from the backyard. She is concentrating on trimming them. A week has passed. The cuttings are thriving, having grown roots and green leaves, becoming independent plants and even sprouting beautiful purple flower buds. I am looking for someone. Oh no, I am buying flowers. The dean doesn't dare to directly state his purpose. Lin Ran looks up and discovers the other party is an elderly, silver-bearded grandpa wearing a white coat, dressed like an old doctor. Immediately becoming spirited, what flowers to buy? Just the ones in the girl's hand. The dean's attention was immediately drawn to the lavender in her hand. Could this be? He didn't dare to be certain, but as an experienced clinical dean, he had studied clinical biology and had a deeper understanding of life than ordinary people. This refreshing and penetrating fragrance was clearly not a chemically synthesized perfume, but leaned more toward nature. The dean almost forgot that he had come to diagnose the marshal's injury recovery status. His entire attention was captivated by this blue flower. Could it be a spiritual plant, said to exist only during the ancient astral era? He trembled slightly, his fingers touching the lavender petals. The soft texture. A voice roared in his mind. It was not an artificial flower, it had life. He is a doctor with his own judgment. Lin Ran did not deny, nor did he admit. Whatever you think it is, then it is. The dean was incomparably excited, his grayish-white eyes bursting with unparalleled excitement and radiance. He was like holding the most precious treasure. As he held the bunch of lavender branches Lin Ran handed to him, yes, it can't be wrong. The dean's voice was nearly hoarse, his Adam's apple bobbing up and down. This is real lavender, not some plastic flower or crystal flower, nor is it those inorganic, lifeless gemstone carved fake flowers. Heaven, I actually got to see a real spiritual plant in my lifetime. That is a miraculous species that only exists in ancient books. Something that countless top scientists at the Federal Plant Gene Research Institute have dedicated their hearts and souls to researching for hundreds of years yet still couldn't cultivate. The dean's eyes faintly glistened with a thin layer of mist. He then saw the price tag on this lavender branch, 10,000 coin. You, young lady, such a precious ancient star-age lavender plant, its value should have 10 more zeros added after the listed price. Ling Ran was very calm. The expansion of plants is very fast once plants are cultivated across the entire star system. Selling one for several hundred million or even tens of millions wouldn't be appropriate. A golden-winged butterfly flew over from the backyard, fluttering its golden wings and landed on Ling Ran's shoulder. A psychic voice. The sound directly descended into the mind of the old dean. The old man, it was too noisy. The old dean shuddered all over. This kind of transmission through mental power to the brain, the ability of sound, only top experts above 3S can achieve. The marshal, clearly looking just awakened, waits. Wait, just awakened. The old dean takes a sharp breath of cold air in the special intensive care ward of the 7th District Sanatorium. The marshal, due to trauma in the spiritual domain, has never successfully fallen asleep. Could it be the effect of this lavender fragrance? The old dean of medicinal martial arts is somewhat excited. He prepares to take these lavender flower branches back to the 7th District's biological laboratory, since propagation by cuttings and cultivation after the flower bed area increased, the lavender yield has also significantly increased, able to sell about 30 to 40 branches daily. Originally, it was a small, dilapidated flower shop that could have been deserted, but now it also had customers, half of whom were students from Kingshan University. After those few art students returned to school earlier, they helped him with some small-scale promotion among their classmates, and now over 10 students come daily to buy flowers. The old dean watched Ling Ran's silver scissors trim off two leaves from the flower branch, feeling heartache, and hurriedly stopped her, saying, "Don't cut, just keep it as it is. If it really is a plant from the ancient star era, once these leaves are cut off, they will wither. What a waste. Those are all precious research resources." Ling Ran was taken aback. Without trimming, tying it into a bouquet wouldn't be aesthetic enough. The old dean insisted firmly, "No, it is already perfect enough. Keeping its original state is sufficient." Ling Ran decided to respect the customer's choice and did not trim the branches and leaves further, simply tying it into a bouquet with a light blue ribbon. The old dean was very interested in these lavender plants and couldn't help asking a couple more questions. "Miss, did you cultivate this type of flower yourself?" Ling Ran nodded. The old dean was amazed. Spiritual plant cultivation genius like you, miss, working in such a remote little flower shop is truly a waste of talent. Why not come work at the 7th District Sanatorium? I can specially allocate an ancient organism cultivation laboratory for you and assign you a few assistants." As he spoke, he handed over his business card. Ling Ran was very surprised. She took that exquisitely. Creating an exquisite business card, one could see that the various titles alone filled a full 4 lines. This dean of the 7th District was also a clinician, the doctoral supervisor in the field of psychic research. "My apologies for the disrespect." Elder Dean Zhuan persistently poaches for the 7th time. "The benefits in the district are excellent. It is the best and largest sanatorium on planet S314. Medical personnel who can work here. The threshold is at least a research institute degree. More than half our doctoral students. Our level specification is that of a top-tier sanatorium, on par with top-tier hospitals." Ling Ran smiled and declined. "Dean Zhuan, thank you for your invitation, but I'm afraid I must first." "Don't be in a hurry to refuse someone with special talent like you in spiritual plant cultivation. We do recruit as well." Old Dean Long Sheng's sincere invitation is truly very tempting, and the lavender you cultivated, its floral fragrance, if this old man isn't mistaken, for soldiers who have suffered trauma in the spiritual realm during war, it also has a certain therapeutic and soothing effect. The research direction is a perfect match. Ling Ran still refused. "Sorry, this happiness flower shop holds extraordinary meaning for me. I really like my current job. I have thought it over. I want to run the flower shop well and keep doing it. This is the only shop of a relative. She was an orphan on Earth, alone all her life, but after crossing over, she gained the bonds of family instead. Every few days, her aunt would call to ask if she was doing well, if she was living comfortably in the flower shop." The old dean, seeing the determination in her eyes, couldn't help but sigh deeply. What a real shame. After the dean left, Ling Ran looked at the empty bottle necklace containing lavender seeds and placed a crystal flower inside. This Evening, Ling Ran, as usual, returned to her bedroom to sleep. Just as she was about to fall asleep, something magical happened. She crossed back again. The surrounding scene changed into the rental apartment. In Daxia country on Earth where she had lived for a year, Ling Ran suddenly sat up, all sleepiness gone. She pulled open the bedroom curtains. Outside it was broad daylight. She had already prepared herself to live well in the interstellar world, but the heavens played another big joke on her. Ling Ran's first reaction was to check Earth's. Looking at the date on the phone, following the flow of time on Earth, only 2 days had passed on Earth, while between Earth and the future interstellar world, the time difference was 10 to 1. Ling Ran sat dazed, taking a long time to snap back to reality. Right, the small glass bottle. Lowering her head, she saw the glass bottle necklace hanging on her chest, inside which was clearly stored that pink diamond plum blossom. The things from the interstellar flower shop had also come through with her. Ling Ran grew increasingly astonished. This magical little bottle actually had spatial carrying ability. Despite her excitement, she tried hard to stay calm, unraveling the threads and peeling back the layers. Why did she keep traveling back and forth? There must be a triggering mechanism. Recalling carefully, when she traveled over, she was lying in her Earth apartment, one hand holding the small glass bottle containing lavender seeds. When she traveled back, she was lying in the interstellar flower shop, also with one hand holding the small glass bottle containing the pink diamond plum blossom. The trigger for the travel was holding this small glass bottle space. Ling Ran pondered thoughtfully. Could she still return to Xingfu flower shop? Although the time wasn't long, she had already grown somewhat attached. She quite enjoyed her days as the flower shop manager, farming, selling flowers, and having beautiful golden butterflies for company. Ling Ran had a college roommate whose family was in the jewelry business. Ling Ran took a photo of the pink diamond plum blossom and sent it over. Yan, how much could this pink diamond plum blossom sell for? Almost instantly, Wang over there. Yan replied that pink diamonds are very rare, much more expensive than ordinary diamonds. If it is genuine, it looks to be 10 carats above, and the carving work is extremely high-end. It is the finest among fine pieces. The price is immeasurable, at least tens of millions. Ling Ran stared wide-eyed, looking at the reply from his college roommate, his heart pounding wildly. Am I about to become rich overnight? The phone rang. It was Wang Yan calling. Xiaoxian, where did you get that pink diamond photo? Wang Yan's voice sounded extremely excited. Could it possibly be computer-generated? No, the photo was just taken. I want to sell this pink diamond. Are you the owner of the pink diamond? Wang Yan was utterly shocked, her excited voice trembling. The world's largest pink diamond, pink star, 59 carats. Finally at the auction house, the closing price was 5.5 billion. You're this pink diamond 10 carats. Not sold for $1 billion, but tens of millions is not a problem. Lin Ran felt all his blood rush backwards. He couldn't even hold his phone steady. Holy crap. Wang Yan was extremely excited. Can you entrust this pink diamond to me for sale? Just sell it to our Wang's jewelry company. We can definitely give you a reasonable price. Lin Ran's voice was slightly hoarse. Sure. Wang Yan was very happy. I'll go to your place right now. Lin Ran sent her a location. Wang Yan soon arrived at the apartment. She took out tools and instruments from her small leather case for appraisal. 13.9 carats, the purest type IA quality. The quality is in no way inferior to the world's largest pink star. Compared to Wang Yan's uncontrollable excitement, Lin Ran remained much calmer, for Toon Flower Shop had who knows how many pink diamonds of such pure quality. Lin Ran sighed inwardly. Fortune Flower Shop, fortune is ambition. Xiao Ran, here is the contract. Take a look. A deposit of 5 million sent directly to you. I'll take it back to the company for final appraisal to determine the final price. At the latest, the full amount will be transferred to your account tomorrow. Lin Ran did not hesitate at all and signed the transaction contract with Wang's jewelry. Wang Yan transferred 5 million to his account and left with that pink diamond plum blossom for the company. 5 million spending money. Lin Ran looked at the balance in his account, feeling an unprecedented sense of satisfaction. He planned to go to the nearest farmer's market, the flower and bird market, to walk around, buy some flower seeds, vegetable seeds, rice seeds. The small glass bottle space was limited, most suitable for holding seeds. Anything too big wouldn't fit. It was best to get those with short growth cycles that could sprout quickly. Flower and bear fruit. For example, lettuce grows extremely fast, easy to keep alive. The interstellar world had no vegetables but had meat, so you Could make barbecue and then wrap it in lettuce leaves to eat, for example. Sunflowers, which can sprout and bloom in a month under the influence of interstellar nutrient agents, they could bloom in half a month, right? Also buy some rice with husks to cultivate seedlings, then after transplanting the rice seedlings, we'll be able to eat rice from there. Soon, just as I was getting ready to go out, I received the boss's phone call, Ilek. The phone transmitted the boss's angry voice. Lin ran, what's going on with you? You skipped work yesterday and didn't come to the company today either. Don't you even look at what time it is now? You these freshly graduated young college students just can't endure hardship, not a bit of professional ethics. Skipping work for a day deducts 500. He indeed hadn't been to work for today's because he'd accidentally time traveled. This point couldn't be explained to the other party. A colleague on good terms sent a text message saying he helped ask for sick leave. The boss opened his mouth and deducted $1,000. Labor law doesn't have such a rule, the boss said with great seriousness. If you're not here within 20 minutes, company, bear the consequences yourself. You don't know how to cherish opportunities at all. There are plenty of graduates outside. I can replace you. Got it, I quit. Bye. Lin ran happily hung up the phone. Finally, didn't have to put up with that bullshit anymore. Lin ran walked into a seed wholesale shop in the farmer's market, buy a bag of lettuce seeds. The shopkeeper looked like a middle-aged farmer. Glared at him. Our seeds here are only for wholesale. Lin ran was embarrassed. Then sell me a bag for $3. Okay, the shopkeeper took out a bag of lettuce seeds. Take it. Lin ran smiled. I also want some rice with husks, the kind that can be used for raising seedlings at double the wholesale price. Just sell it to me retail. The shopkeeper brought out another bag. 5 caddies of rice with husks. These 20. Young lady, you're buying these to grow on your balcony, right? You can try cilantro seeds. Easy to keep, grows fast. You can harvest them batch after batch. When cooking, you can also pinch a few for seasoning. Lin ran thought this suggestion was good. Okay, then give me another bag of cilantro seeds. In the end, paid a total of $25. That $5 million fortune probably has nowhere to be squandered. Next to the farmer's market, there's a flower and bird market. After buying the vegetable and rice seeds, he went next door to buy flower seeds. Flower shops usually have flower seeds for sale. Young lady, these things are very delicate. Their germination rate is already very low. They must be kept at a temperature of over 20 degrees. They are planted in mixed nutrient soil, sprinkled with an appropriate amount of water, then covered with plastic wrap, and only after a week is it possible for sprouts to emerge. Lin ran was quite helpless. He also knew that mixed nutrient soil was important, but conditions didn't allow it. The small glass bottles space simply couldn't carry nutrient soil over. It was almost impossible to fit even the seeds. A strong thought surfaced in his mind. If only the small glass bottle space could be a bit larger, he wouldn't have so many restrictions when carrying things. Just as he was thinking this, a panel of information automatically appeared in his mind. Item Klein. Bottle status damaged. A narrow and useless bottle. Dimensional level between 3-dimensional and 4-dimensional. Not yet meeting the conditions for dimensional ascension. Wealth value 5 million. Space size no space. Unlock condition for every 10 million Daxia currency or 10 million coin paid, 1 cubic decimeter of space can be unlocked. Lin ran was utterly shocked. The legendary Klein bottle said to exist only in universes of 4 dimensions or above. Even if all the water on Earth were poured into it, it could never be filled. A Klein bottle connected end to end with space having no end. Humans on Earth live in a 3-dimensional world, 3 dimensions being length, width, and height, while the 4th dimension is time. Lin ran vaguely understood something. What separates the world of Earth and the future interstellar world is an endless torrent of time, and the bottle possesses a certain 4-dimensional spatial ability. It is guiding me across the temporal anchor points. Round-trip traversal might be my. The desire to expand the Klein bottle was too intense, so it responded to me. However, expanding by 1 cubic decimeter costs 10 million. This is simply not a kind bottle at all. So suddenly felt a pang of physical pain, thinking that earning 5 million would allow overnight wealth. Who knew that even 1 cubic decimeter of space couldn't be afforded? After the shopping trip for seeds, he prepared to return to the apartment for the 3rd traversal attempt. Lin ran had once read Hawking's A Brief History of Time, which elaborated in detail on what time is. A coordinate axis besides the 3 axes of length, width, and height. The 4th is an axis named time. 3-dimensional beings, earthlings, cannot cross this time axis, bound by birth, aging, sickness, and death, but four-dimensional existences can traverse the time axis. They can easily cross the anchor points on the time axis, shuttling freely. The one on him, although still a rudimentary, incomplete, narrow, and useless bottle, is still transcendent to three dimensions, possessing a certain ability to shuttle along the time axis. After realizing this, Lin Ran could almost confirm that this bottle could take him back to the interstellar happy flower shop. Sure enough, when Lin Ran reached the apartment, the information transmitted by the Klein bottle surfaced in his mind again. Whether to bind where anchor points, you currently have to anchor points that can be bound. Lin Ran answered without hesitation, it's the Klein bottle because it is an item from a higher dimension, to some extent approximating a god. It can spontaneously convey the meaning it wants to express in the form of waves into the host's mind and capture the host's brainwave changes, understanding the host's meaning similar to the systems in novels, yet superior to systems. Lin Ran closed his eyes and began to silently set anchor point 1, ancient star. Era 2724, Earth, Great Jia. Country capital Zhongdu, Wafu, apartment room 1031, anchor point 2, SL. New calendar era 4201, S314 planet. Kingshan City happy flower shop, timeline anchor points confirmed already. Bound to host, Leap. Lin Ran, at this moment, was sitting on the apartment bed, one hand holding the magical small glass bottle filled with various seeds. He bought so many, each type could only hold 7 or 8. Just as he was about to answer, suddenly his phone received a text message. Your bank account has received a remittance of 15 million. Lin Ran felt somewhat excited. The follow-up transaction payment for the pink diamond had arrived. Wang Yan's call came. Sorry, Xiao Ren. The Wang's jewelry company executives discussed and decided to acquire your pink diamond for 20 million. The price is much lower than I expected, they said. Your pink diamond, it may be of dubious origin. We bear great risk in acquiring it. If the higher-ups investigate, it will be difficult to handle. Lin Ran heard his former big learning the roommate's voice filled with guilt, but he was already very satisfied. It's okay, Yan. 20 million is already very good. After, if disposed of through some dark channels, it's likely that not even 20 million could be obtained. After the call ended, Lin Ran immediately placed the 15 million plus the previous 5 million deposit, totaling 20 million, into the space of the small glass bottle. Upgraded. Lin Ran instantly went from a millionaire wife to penniless again. Expansion complete. Achievement unlocked. Time travel. You shuttle back and forth in time like a lost traveler, searching for a warm harbor. Congratulations, lucky time traveler. You have discovered and bound a 1-star harbor scene, turning the happiness flower shop into the #1 florist in the galaxy, which can help the Klein bottle ascend to 4-dimensional time traveler. Lin Ran pondered his new achievement title. Not bad at all. Running a flower shop aptly can yield huge rewards. It's simply that after triggering the achievement of welfare, the goal immediately becomes clear. However, this welfare doesn't seem that easy to obtain. Becoming the #1 flower shop in the interstellar world is a long and arduous journey. The flow of time on Earth and in the interstellar world is different. After Lin Ran traveled back, she found her college roommate Wang Yan to resell plum blossom pollen, diamonds, and also visited the agricultural and flower bird market to purchase seeds. After 4 hours of tossing and turning between these tasks, the refill was finally complete. The seeds, it's time to go back. Lin Ran checked the space unlocked. After the Klein bottle expansion, 1 cubic decimeter is roughly equivalent to the size of 2 chalk boxes, approximately equal to 1 liter. 2 cubic decimeters compared to the previous oral liquid-sized glass bottle is much stronger. Lin Ran loaded 100 rose seeds, 100 sunflower seeds, 100 lettuce seeds, and 50 coriander seeds. These only occupied a quarter of the space. A quarter of rose cultivation mixed nutrient soil remained. The remaining 1 cubic decimeter was fully loaded with hulled rice. 1 liter of rice is neither too much nor too little. It should be able to cultivate quite a few rice seedlings. Lin Ran prepared everything, lay on the apartment bed, and almost instantly time leaped, and the transmigration began. Under the protection of the Klein bottle, the torrent of time surged past, yet Lin Ran felt nothing at all. Any discomfort. By the time he opened his eyes again, the surrounding scene had already changed, and it was unmistakably the happiness florist. He was back in his small bedroom inside. Lin Ran's lips couldn't help but curl upwards. This kind of small shop at the very end of the street, even if the owner suddenly didn't open for a day or two, probably wouldn't attract any attention. Lin Ran, for some reason, thought of that beautiful golden butterfly. After 2 days of not seeing it, he wondered if the butterfly was still in the flower bed or perhaps it had already flown away. This was his first time crossing over, living in the happiness florist for 20 days, 19 of which were accompanied by that golden butterfly. At first, the butterfly was always aloof and indifferent to him. But sometimes, while he was busy, it would land on his shoulder or on his head. This was, without a doubt, a form of closeness. Ling Ran was not in a hurry to open the happiness florist for business. Instead, he first went to the backyard flower bed. On one hand, he wanted to see if the golden butterfly was still there. On the other hand, he wanted to check on the growth of the lavender. The golden-winged nether butterfly, originally buried in the lavender bed sleeping and recuperating from its injuries, sensed something in an instant and suddenly lifted its head. At this moment, having just returned from crossing back from Earth, Ling Ran was surprised to find that over 20 nutrition bars were missing from the refrigerator. Soon, a nearly absurd conjecture surfaced in his mind. Ling Ran's gaze swept towards the gloomwing in the flower bed not far away. Could it be that you did it? Ling Ran found it quite interesting. So the butterflies in the Su Travel Star system all eat nutrition bars. That makes sense. In this interstellar world, there aren't even any plants. So Ling Ran went to the small supermarket next door and bought 100 nutrition bars. The small supermarket's owner recognized Ling Ran. You haven't opened your shop these past 2 days. Quite a few people came to buy flowers and they seemed very disappointed when they couldn't get any. Also, there was a man wearing a Federation military uniform. Has your flower shop been targeted by the Federation military? Ling Ran's first reaction was to think of that Federation Sergeant Arnold. Many patients at the 7th District Sanatorium have backgrounds in the Federation military, so you must absolutely be careful. You must on no account offend anyone. The Viceno clan who revere the ether and the bear could flatten your flower shop with one claw. A drop of cold sweat rolled down Ling Ran's temple. Thanks for the reminder. I'll be careful. Ling Ran dared not let his guard down. After all, he was just a worthless guy with zero psychic power. After returning to the flower shop, Ling Ran went to the backyard flower bed. There was still about 10 square meters of empty space in the flower bed. He sowed lettuce seeds and coriander seeds in 5 square meters of it and sowed sunflower seeds in the other 5 square meters. Then he rummaged in the warehouse and pulled out a water vat, creating a basic seedling bed for the rice. At this moment, Ling Ran discovered a new problem. If he later transplants these rice seedlings, the land in the backyard probably won't be enough. He'll have to. Considering going to buy farmland, his gaze swept over the large expanse of barren hills behind the flower garden. Planet S314 is an abandoned agricultural planet with many abandoned barren hills. The hills are covered with deserted wastelands since ancient times. Land has never been cheap. Ling Ran came to the checkout counter, checked the bill of Happy Flower Shop. After deducting daily flower expenses, there were still 180,000 coin left. Ling Ran checked the land prices on the Star Network. 1 mu of abandoned wasteland costs 100,000 coin, only enough to buy 1 mu of land. Probably not enough. Ling Ran thought about it, decided to raise 200,000 star coins, buy 2 mu of land at once. 1 mu to plant rice, 1 mu to plant roses. Ling Ran instantly felt full of motivation. Still need to earn money properly. Just at this moment, Gloomwing flew over. Ling Ran thought the other might still be hungry, so took out a few nutrition bars and handed them to it. Gloomwing remained motionless. Ling Ran continued, I didn't know before that you eat nutrition bars. Don't worry, from now on every day I will prepare food for you. Gloomwing was socially dead. The mighty marshal, #1 in combat power in the star system, was actually discovered by this little girl stealing and eating this stuff. It doesn't taste good. Wait until the fields yield vegetables and rice. Later, I'll cook for you. The taste is much better than this. Gloomwing was puzzled. Vegetables and rice sounds very tempting. Federal Guard. When Nua walked into the Bliss flower shop, he was stunned by the scene before him. The marshal, known as the Asura, was being treated like a pet. Those feeding him, hey, why did you run away? Ling Ran was taken aback by Gloomwing's reaction. How could there be a butterfly that flies so fast? The marshal now felt completely uneasy. What does this flower-growing girl mean? One moment she says he belongs to her family. The next she says she wants to keep him and even reaches out to stroke his wings. This is too casual. Ling Ran looked up at the butterfly, which was now far away from him. It was absolutely more stunning than any butterfly he had ever seen. Gloomwing crouched on top of the crystal display window, its wings still carrying the warmth from Ling Ran's fingertips. A stream of psychic energy continuously assaulted his mental domain. Damn it. And she's still looking at me with that smiling gaze. Don't think that this marshal will forgive your insolence just because of that. As Ling Ran walked toward the display window, Gloomling retreated, even flying directly to the roof. He fled, she chased, and he had nowhere to escape. After all, the flower shop was only so big. Guard Arnold watched the scene, dumbfounded. This is outright a female rogue. After lightly disrespecting the marshal, she then cornered him in the ceiling. Who is Marshal Chi Ming? The women in the Federation who admire him are countless. The Marshal Star Network has billions of female fans, with millions of female fans leaving messages every day. She said she wanted to bear his child, but the marshal has always been aloof and cold, and on the battlefield, he is quite bloodthirsty with a terrifyingly icy gaze. You can scare away any woman who comes close. The Federal Empire once had a little princess who tried to sneak into the marshal's bedroom at night, and the marshal threw her out of the 7th floor window. Luckily, that little princess was as light as a bird, otherwise she would have been killed. Finally, Arnold couldn't stand it anymore and gave a friendly reminder. Shopkeeper, randomly touching butterfly wings can cause big trouble. Only then did Ling Ran notice that a guest had already arrived at the shop entrance. Ling Ran had no psychic power, while Arnold was a Zong-level bear warrior in psychic power with overwhelming psychic force. The other party would never detect his presence, so what problem could there be remembering the neighbor's small supermarket owner? Well, this federal sergeant comes to his own shop entrance every day. Arnold looks serious. Something very bad will happen. It won't endanger life. It won't attack. It's a very gentle butterfly. Arnold's eye twitched. Does this girl have some misunderstanding about the word gentle? Ling Ran face-palmed. Right, it never attacks people, only likes to sleep among flowers and sunbathe. Arnold face-palmed. Why does it sound so zen? Is this still that marshal who kills without batting an eye and destroys warships? Anyway, shop owner, you just need to remember not to touch the butterfly's wings randomly. That's all I can say. He can't reveal the golden-winged nether butterfly's marshal identity. He is very worried, mainly afraid that the marshal might not be comfortable living in this flower shop, and also afraid that the marshal might be disrespected again, leading to a loss of mental control. Rising up to kill the civilian shop owner. Do you hear? Still hire employees. I want to apply. Ling Ran's pupils suddenly constricted. You, a federal officer, want to work in our small flower shop? Arnold is tall and burly like a bear, over 1.8 meters tall, with a loud voice. Please hire me. I can do cleaning work, any miscellaneous or hard work. Salary doesn't matter. I mainly like working in flower shops. Ling Ran was momentarily speechless. Liking to work is such a clumsy excuse, but the shop is indeed short of a helper. Ling Ran is currently alone. He took on all the work at the flower shop and later would also need to clear land for farming and transplant rice seedlings. The salary was 3,000 coins, with a 1-month probation period. Arnold was very happy. Shop owner, rest assured, I will definitely work well and stick with it long term. At least, Marshal Chi Ming didn't seem to have short-term plans to leave. As his bodyguard, he naturally had to protect him closely. Ling Ran sent the electronic contract to Arnold. Renault didn't hesitate and immediately signed it. The moment the electronic contract took effect, a prompt from the bottle came to Ling Ran's mind. New employee hired. Coziness increased by 2. Arnold was very dedicated. As soon as he signed the contract, he immediately went to clean and tidy up the flower shop. Ling Ran discovered that Happy Flower Shop also had an account on Starnet, but the account hadn't posted any short videos for promotion. It was just a placeholder. Suddenly, the Happy Flower Shop account's followers jumped from a single digit to 1,000. Ling Ran thought someone had bought fake followers or bought accounts until he received several private messages. White Tooth Madam, was it at your flower shop that you bought the lavender? White Tooth Star? Sign, that bottle of lavender is really beautiful. So it turned out a bid V artist had given the flower shop exposure. That artist was the one who bought the first bunch of lavender. That college student. Ling Ran felt as if he had been favored by the god of luck. That college student was actually a somewhat famous artist. Lady Ling Ran hadn't expected the followers to come so quickly. The small shop of 70 or 80 square meters was suddenly. The crowd was packed at this moment, and the intimidation of the working bear Arnold came into play. With a low roar, his imposing manner was terrifying, forbidding crowding. Squeeze, spontaneously line up, lavender 500 coins per plant. No haggling, the entire venue falls silent, originally excitedly howling. The The customers immediately lined up and the lavender sold out quickly. Ling Ran had to go to the backyard to pick more. Today's turnover is going to reach a new high again. Tomorrow we can go buy land. Suddenly a small bottle's voice echoed in my mind. According to the prompt, congratulations to Happy Florist for surpassing 100 customers on the first day, earning the title of bustling business and receiving the reward, Green Mountain City map marker. Ling Ran immediately opened the Star Network map. Sure enough, he saw the marker for Happy Flower Shop. Ling Ran's lips uncontrollably. Rent is going up, but from now on I won't have to worry about customers not being able to find my flower shop anymore. This is no small breakthrough. Glooming. Seeing Ling Ran's busy appearance, I suddenly felt that the little girl was actually quite good looking. Ling Ran caught a glimpse of the vegetable field sprouting to tender green sprouts. The lettuce has sprouted. An intense sense of satisfaction surged up, even more than when the flower shop's traffic broke 100. Happy, this means it won't be long before we can eat fresh lettuce. No need to drink nutrient solution all day. Glooming towards the wall, looking at that patch of barren land to sprouts could make him so happy. Ling Ran sent 100 lavender branches. Upon reaching the front hall, according to the customer's requests, we proceeded to pack and separate. When closing in the evening, Ling Ran discovered that today's total income 80,000 coin. Ling Ran went to the Land Management Bureau early in the morning on the second day to buy land. As for the flower shop, it was handed over to the working bear. Arnold. Gloomwing woke up and he flew out from the flower bed. Arnold was mopping the floor and saw Gloomwing. Instantly excited, he saluted. Good morning, Marshal. The butterflies' golden pupils held not a trace of warmth as they swept a glance over him. Where is the person? The cold voice appeared in Anuo's mind. Through telepathy, are you referring to shopkeeper Ling Ran? He went to the Land Management Bureau, said he wants to buy 2 acres of wasteland on the back mountain. How is your injury? If you feel unwell, subordinate will take you back immediately. Arnold only felt his brain buzzing from the marshal's psychic message. Gloomwing seemed to notice the paleness on his subordinate's face, fluttered his golden cicada wings, and flew out. Ling Ran was on the bus, waiting for the bus at the station. Jin Yiming very naturally landed on Ling Ran's shoulder. Ling Ran was startled. Why are you here? Jin Yiming, butterfly, a congenital cripple with 0 psychic power, dares to go out alone. Any random person on the road with a psychic level F. That guy can beat you down. Then come with me. Ling Ran gently looked at the family-raised little pet, so clingy. People, the expression of truly having no way with you. Golden-winged singing butterfly. This marshal is just showing some concern for the disabled, that's all. Green Mountain City soil. At the entrance of the Land Administration Bureau, a security guard stopped him. Ling Ran, what are you doing here? This kind of place isn't for someone like you with 0 spiritual power. The person who can come in. I am here to buy land. You weren't the ones who posted the notice for selling wasteland on the Star Net. The gatekeeper frowned. Eyebrow. Not just anyone is qualified to buy land. One must have a stable salary and assets. Your kind of spiritual power is 0. Disabled people, I'm afraid they can't even find a job. Ling Ran took a deep breath. Never thought that in this day and age, even buying land comes with discrimination. Seeing that I have a stable job, I am the manager of a flower shop. The store's income is very considerable. Don't lie, the security guard is very The Nifan Galaxy has never had a company that would hire a person with 0 psychic power. Go, go, go. The security guard subconsciously gave Ling a push. However, Ling Ran almost fell down the stairs at this moment. A force supported him from behind and Ling Ran steadied himself. After looking back, there was nothing behind. Gloomwing had long anticipated that Ling Ran would face discrimination because the Interstellar Federation. The Federation has a strict hierarchy system. The treatment of federal citizens is linked to their psychic level. From F class to S class, the higher the level, the better the social benefits one can enjoy. For someone like Ling Ran, who is born without mimicry, the lowest class citizens, unable to awaken spiritual power, normally live in the slums searching for a lifetime. By the time of the work, Marshal Qi Ming was the galaxy's top-tier SS grade psychic, but he did not discriminate against congenital disabilities. He had even, after submitting the congenital disability benefits bill to the federal parliament, it was not passed. The guard accidentally saw Ling Ran's shoulder that Gloomwing couldn't control. Its knees, they went weak. Its spiritual power level felt suppressed. C level in the face of SS level. Before, it was simply fragile. The guard felt as if a mental spike had pierced through his brain, the searing pain contorting his entire face. Twisted up, the golden-winged bird chirps. The butterfly sees the other's spirit on the verge of breaking, fearing that causing a death would bring more trouble. It then refined the ease. The divine power withdrew from the door, and the guard let out a sigh of relief. He was certain that Gloomwing was the true master who bought the land, and this girl was merely is the butterfly lord's servant, meekly saying inside. Are you looking to purchase land? Such a VIP passage will be personally received by our Land Administration Bureau Chief. Ling Ran was stunned in place, unable to sense any spiritual energy fluctuations. He completely unaware of what had happened. Gloomwing glanced at him sideways and, without uttering a word, in less than a minute, the head of the Qingshan City Land Bureau, the elder, personally came out to greet. Having heard that the Lord intends to purchase land, please come inside. Enter the office. The other party's attitude is to courteous breath. Ling Ran was also made a bit nervous by the situation. The bureau chief sat opposite, fearing the big shot butterfly on Ling Ran's shoulder, not daring to confront him. Ling Ran has the slightest disrespect. Miss, which piece of land would you like to buy? For personal use or commercial use, the barren mountain behind the Digi nursing home is mine. Want to buy the 2 acres of wasteland at the foot of the mountain? The bureau chief didn't dare ask too much. That golden butterfly's aura was too powerful, making him restless. And Ling Ran soon signed the land sale and transfer agreement. 100,000 coins per acre of land with a usage right limit of 500 years. Ling Ran took the just signed document, was taken back to Happiness Flower Shop. The 2 acres of farmland purchased are right at the foot of the mountain behind Happiness Flower Shop, very near the shop owner. You're alive. You've come back. Arnold, who is currently selling flowers, is very excited. This is the marshal's first time leaving the hospital after being severely injured. The hospital is so far away. After all, the marshal still has the condition of mental power out of control, and accidents are prone to happen. Ling Ran glanced at the working bear. I'm just going to buy some land. It's not like I'm going to the battlefield. Arnold's gaze fell on Gloomwing, confirming that the marshal was safe and sound. I just breathed a sigh of relief. You watch the shop. I'm going farming. Ling Ran is already impatient. His whole water vat of rice seedlings have already sprouted tender green shoots, and the rose seeds have also germinated and grown tender sprouts. Ling Ran took the hoe and shovel to go work. He loves farming. Farming makes him happy. Ling Ran was busy for 3 hours, actually just cultivated the wasteland edges and corners of 1 mu of land. 1 mu of land is roughly 66 square meters, and 1 square meter of paddy field can plant 70. That pot of rice seedlings has been cultivated for several days. The latest batch has produced nearly 400, meaning even if planted very loosely and not more than 10 square meters. Ling Ran suddenly feeling it's a bit little, kept busy until dusk and only cultivated for square meters. Looking out, there is still a vast stretch of barren land. Although Planet S314 is said to be an abandoned agricultural planet, its soil. The soil is relatively hard, and it is completely incomparable to the looseness of Earth's farmland soil. Without tools for plowing, relying on human strength to turn the soil is very hardworking. Shop owner today sold a total of 126 bunches of lavender. Income 63,000 coin. Arnold left after returning to the rear to report that situation has been tough. Thank you, Ling. Suddenly feeling that hiring this employee was really the right decision. Manager, are you translating? Ground, do you need my help? I am very strong. Arnold only used a quarter of an hour to reclaim nearly 100 square meters of wasteland. Ling Ran couldn't help but exclaim, so amazing. Anu, I'm going to give you a raise. Arnold blushed from the praise. It's because I'm strong. You can order me around as you please. Gloomwing saw Ling Ran giving Arnold a thumbs up, a scene of digging some dirt. Already, this marshal has helped you. Teach a lesson to those who bullied you. I haven't seen you this excited before. Gloomwing fanned its wings, formless. The spiritual force flew out, turning the nearby wasteland completely upside down. Arnold had a look of horror on his face. Could that just now be one of the marshal's famous signature moves, capable of instantly releasing dozens of SS-level psychic air slashes? Cut the mecha combat skills into a pile of scrap metal. The marshal actually used this move to help the shop owner turn the soil. Ling Ran was also stunned, not expecting 3 seconds that field was completely turned over. So amazing is this the supernatural ability of the interstellar world? Ling Ran slowly turning his neck, looking at the little butterfly. Gloomwing quite enjoying the shocked, admiring gaze, its tattered wings opening and closing. Ling ran to Gloomwing. The performance was shocking. I never knew little butterflies could be so fierce. I thought you were just an ordinary little butterfly. Suddenly thought of when I went to the Land Bureau, I was secretly helped by a mysterious person. Could it be that today it's helping me? Gloomwing rolled his eyes at him. Ling Ran actually felt a hint of sundeer from this butterfly. Thank you for saving me, Ling Ran sniffed, almost colliding with that little butterfly. Gloomwing suddenly flew far away, leaving only a golden afterimage. Ling Ran did not expect the other party to react so intensely. He just wanted to get a little closer to talk to the butterfly. Gloomwing was on guard in the distance. Beidou stared at him, his butterfly antennae just now almost touched the tip of his nose, and a little further down would be the lips. Goodbye. Arnold did not dare to linger. Whoosh, he got off work and went home, leaving enough private space for the marshal and the shop manager. Ling Ran was full of curiosity about this butterfly. Are you a butterfly or a mimicry of interstellar humans? He grew suspicious. This butterfly is so spiritual and its attack power seems very high. Could it be some big shot's mimicry? Gloomwing felt a bit guilty, fluttered its wings, pretending to be a butterfly. For the next week, Ling Ran was busy, closely observing Gloomwing, wanting to find evidence of the world on its body, but Gloomwing hides very well every day. Not sleeping, just drinking nutrient solution. A week later, Ling Ran looked at the patch of vegetable garden in the corner and revealed a smile. Lettuce. Grown up, today at noon I ate lettuce wraps with grilled meat. Although this interstellar world has no plants, it has meat. Only the most of the food is not used as dishes, but is sent directly to factories to extract protein, which serves as raw material for nutritional supplements. An ordinary person wouldn't go to buy meat to cook. Everyone has long been accustomed to consuming nutritional supplements. Ling Ran went to the supermarket and bought a piece of cold hidden beef and a bag of salt. Apart from salt, can't buy any other seasoning. Beef cut into small pieces, skewered with sticks. Come, place it on the grill and flip it over. A waft of meaty aroma drifted out from the backyard. Ling Ran was just about to have a taste when he saw Gloomwing stared at him without blinking. Try this first. Ling Ran handed over the lettuce-wrapped, grilled meat. The marshal took a bite. Small mouth, the taste buds in the mouth seemed stimulated, just as delicious. From childhood to adulthood, only consuming nutritional supplements, he, for the first time, knew it turns out there is such delicious food in the world. How about it? Do you like it? Ling Ran watched the butterfly eating quickly, feeling a strange sense of satisfaction rose within him. The marshal was very pleased. Having tasted such delicious food, he never wanted to touch those nutrient bars again. Take a sip of happiness. Flower shop's business is very good, earning tens of thousands of star coins every day, so the issue of money is not a worry for Ling Ran for the time being. After 2 days of meat, Ling Ran felt the cooking methods were a bit monotonous. If only there was a small kitchen, then it would be good, so he went to find Arnold. Hadn't heard Arnold say he had been an engineer soldier. Arnold was stunned for a moment. Looked at the small kitchen, looked at the hand-drawn design sketch the shop owner handed over. Didn't question this kind of small room can be built in just 1 afternoon. Arnold indeed kept his word, using only 1 afternoon's time. A small kitchen shop was just built, and as for these iron cookware you mentioned, shop owner, I know a federal steel factory that can help. You need it urgently, custom-made, urgently, not to the point of rushing. I'm not in a hurry, no, must expedite. Arnold's expression is unprecedentedly serious. He stared at the marshal eating raw vegetable skewers beside him. This not only concerns the marshal's physical recovery, but also relates to the star, the future of the system and the war situation of the interstellar war planet. S-314 is very far from the main interstellar battlefield, but the Zerg are right. The invasion of the galaxy has never stopped. This one, the tug of war, has already lasted for 10 years. The Protagonist marshal, though bringing to the galaxy a temporary victory, but the cost was extremely brutal. If the marshal cannot recover within a year, the reproductive capacity is extremely tariff. The human Zerg army will soon make a comeback. Ling Ran did not know that what he saw as a leisurely farming life was froth. For some outsiders, it is indeed a lifeline. Arnold sees it clearly after eating the dish made by Ling Ran. Gloomwing's stamina is rapid improvement. This is an effect that taking nutritional supplements absolutely cannot achieve. You've worked hard, Arnold. I made some extra lettuce barbecue. You should come and try it too. Arnold swallowed his saliva, but that is the marshal's food. He is a bit hesitant. Sure enough, upon hearing Ling Ran's words, the food protective Gloomwing cast a chilling glance over, making Arnold's scalp tingle. No need, no. Used, let the butterflies eat it. It's fine. I made a lot. I made double today. Ling Ran pulled Arnold to sit at the dining table. Before, Arnold really couldn't resist the temptation of the delicious food he stuffed a piece of roasted meat into his mouth and froze, a sensation spreading on the tip of his tongue. The deliciousness almost made him lose his mind. This is just too delicious, boss. How could you make such amazing food, Arnold? Delicious. Almost moved to tears. No wonder the marshal has to eat this every meal. It's like eating the leaves of green plants that have been extinct in the galaxy for millennia. If the group of old academicians at the Federal Academy of Sciences found out, they would definitely go crazy. Just at this moment, a beam of essence, the divine power of telepathy, descended into Arnold's mind. 10 caddies this. Marshal can also. Arnold startled with a jolt, looking toward the opposite side. Gloomwing called me a foodie, saying the marshal's actual appetite is 10 pounds just because the shopkeeper roasted him for it. Foodie, so every day I just make do with half full. Arnold decided to give the boss a hand. This kind of butterfly is a super type in the galaxy. The cosmic beast, not large in appearance, but its stomach is like a dimensional bag that can eat a lot. 5 or 6 caddies of barbecue visually is not enough. 5 or 6 caddies still not enough. Too much of an appetite, right? Gloomwing stiffened for a moment. Sure enough, it was being disliked for being able to eat nearly 10. About a pound. Arnold secretly wiped his sweat. In the entire galaxy, only you, the shop owner, dare to complain right in front of the marshal. Since the shop owner intends take good care of this butterfly, then you must satisfy its cravings for food and drink. Look, this butterfly's wings have very serious wounds. Ling Ran stared at the wound, feeling somewhat distressed. It looks quite severe. 10 jin a day isn't unacceptable. Fine, give it to me. The little butterfly is full. Gloomwing watches Ling Ran's receding back, not knowing why. There's a slight itch in the chest, right? It belongs. The following requires your authority as the interstellar marshal to expedite and jump the queue for the batch of kitchenware the shopkeeper wants. My authority is indeed insufficient. That batch of kitchenware was not at all custom made by Federal Steel Factory, but was custom ordered from Federal Ordnance after several days of intensification. Urgent custom order. The kitchenware was delivered to the flower shop very quickly. At the door, Ling Ran opened the flower shop's door and saw someone wearing a Federation military uniform. The courier so quickly Ling Ran signed for the express discovered it was exactly the set of kitchenware that Troublesome Arnold had custom-made. Troublesome give a good review. I am a Federal Express Specialist, number K937. It is my honor to be able to deliver red priority urgent documents. Your evaluation is extremely important to me. Then casually gave a 5-star review. Good, thank you for your hard work, courier. Moving to tears of gratitude. Thank you for the red priority expedited processing. The urgent document received a 5-star excellent review. I will be able to get promoted next time. You are truly a kind people are welcome. A small effort. Ling Ran holding a large pot full of joy. This pot is really well made, quality. At first glance, it looks great. The courier nodded. Of course, this is an ultra rare metal in the universe. It can be bulletproof and even more, it can resist young ions. With one shot from the cannon, Ling Ran was speechless. Who would use a big iron wok for stir-frying to do that kind of thing? I really don't understand you interstellar people. After the courier left, Ling Ran held the kitchenware and returned to the backyard small kitchen for breakfast. Just make a fish soup. He handled the fish meat, sliced the fish, marinated with salt for an hour. Unfortunately, there's no garlic or ginger for seasoning, but fortunately, the fish meat is fresh and delicious. And not quite like ordinary fish on earth. Smelling the aroma of boiled fish slices, Gloomwing flew to the kitchen, staring intently at Ling Ran. Cooking. Ling Ran took a large basin, scooped a great many pieces of fish meat into this enormous rice basin. It is specially customized for the foodie butterfly. Gloomwing, smelling the scent, can no longer control itself, directly buries its head in the meal. Then after eating his fill, he went to inspect his backyard garden and unexpectedly discovered that the sunflowers he had sown earlier had already grown taller in those 2 acres. After the wasteland was reclaimed, 1 mu was planted with rice seedlings. Half a mu of sunflowers, half a mu of rose rice, and roses grow together. The period is relatively long. Even if the diluted nutrient solution is accelerated, it still takes at least 1 or 2 months, but sunflowers are a type of a plant with extremely tenacious vitality. Even in extremely harsh environments, it can grow towards the sun, reaching 30 centimeters in height. It should be about time for it to bloom. Ling Ran brought over a large bucket, which was filled with diluted nutrient solution, ready watering the sunflower with Gloomwing. After it had eaten its fill later in the flower garden, basking in the sun, Ling Ran saw it and plucked a piece. The sunflower leaf is handed to you. Aren't you injured? Try Eating this, the sunflower leaf clears heat and detoxifies. It can. For bruises and sprains, Gloomwing half-believingly inserted its mouth parts into the sunflower's tender leaves. The sap had a faint green leaves' natural fragrance flowing through the injured throat, cool and refreshing, moisturizing the swollen and painful wound from then on. Marshall is addicted to smoking sunflower leaves. One day, a customer with ulterior motives came to the store. I want to buy a lavender plant. The price is negotiable. Standing behind the cash register, Arno slightly frowned. The shop does not sell whole plants. I can pay 10 times the price for the bouquet. The hook-nosed man smiled, the smile not reaching his eyes. Sorry, there are none in the flower shop. This business, I'm just a working staff member, only responsible for selling existing products. Then go call the store manager. He was talking about the man with the aquiline nose, dressed in a suit and leather shoes, and in his hand, he was pretentiously holding a silver cane, looking every bit the country squire and dandy. Arnold's fists are already starting to itch. He's not wearing the Federation military uniform today, but casual clothes, a t-shirt. Sorry, the shopkeeper is very busy. Please leave. My surname is Ying, with an aquiline nose. The man starts to show his status now. The Ying family of Kingshan City, you know of it, right? Kingshan, one of the 4 great families in that city. They are the nobility of Green Hill City's Arnold's. I twitched at a remote, abandoned agricultural planet in the star system. A local bully from an obscure 18th tier small city dares to call themselves nobility now, doing business, and Angry Eagle just wants to buy a whole lavender plant. Flower shop always refuses, really not giving Mr. Eagle any face. This son of a bitch with the aquiline nose is exactly the one on this street. The shop manager at the entrance of Weishan Shishi Ying, Beijing, from the Ying family of Mount King City. It was precisely by starting a flower shop business that they made their fortune, and the products follow a low-end, affordable route because of the rise of Happy Flower Shop, Ying by Flower. The business of Chan Wedding Services has suffered a huge impact. This month's business is extremely bleak. Even the salaries of the shop's employees are. He couldn't get it out, so he thought it over and discovered that the key to the problem lay in the flower shop's products themselves, which is why he now has to. The scene of forcing to buy lavender plants at the door he hopes to replicate. Ling Ran's production chain. Ling Ran finished watering the flowers and walked to. Even if the front hall is sold to you, you can't keep it alive. Ying Bai, whose identity was seen through, had a moment of awkwardness. The shopkeeper's words hit home. Too absolute. You, a person with 0 psychic power, can manage to raise. I am a D-level psychic, definitely can manage to raise 5,000. Coin for sale or not, 50 million, and still not selling. Ling Ran without any courtesy, he interrupted him. Ying Bai's face turned green and white alternately. 50. Not selling for any price. What a big talk from the florist shop owner. You are somewhat too arrogant. This is Green Mountain City. Don't take yourself too. I'm just a farmer. Never thought I was anything special. This is my only relative's shop. Although I am temporarily managing the flower shop, if in store Yon dares to cause trouble at this store, I will definitely not tolerate it, and have made a gesture of seeing them out. Gestures, in fact, are just driving people out the door. In the daytime, no favor was gained. When night arrived, a black falcon spread its wing, flew to the vicinity of the flower garden in the backyard of Happiness Flower Workshop. Ling Ran actually had so many intact plants, visually estimated to be over 1,000. The petty, disabled village girl wouldn't spare him a single stalk. An eagle Nor's heart grew even heavier. These flower buds he had never seen before. The shop has opened. Happiness Flower Shop will launch new products, completely bankrupting the branch of Floral Field Happy Events. The hawk dives down from the garden wall, its talons tearing through the dense blade-like foliage, ready to uproot and carry away 1 or 2 whole lavender plants. At this very moment, Gloomwing, who had been sleeping with its head buried in the lavender flower field, sensed something and suddenly raised its head. Liao Tu, a 3S level psychic spike attack was launched. With just 1 psychic spike attack, the eagle was in excruciating pain. The village girl's backyard in Yusheng Linren actually had a supreme expert guarding it. Yingbai saw an extremely powerful golden butterfly. That overwhelmingly oppressive mental gaze caused all the feathers on its body to tremble and stand on end. The falcon wanted to let out a screaming, yet horrified to discover that the throat seemed to be starved. Unable to produce a complete sound at all, the intense feeling of impending death. The feeling struck, the falcon fell from midair into the flower bed. Because its weight was not light, 3 lavender plants were crushed flat. Gloomwing looked at the flattened lavender and grew angrier the more he thought about it. Then used his psychic power to slam the hawk fiercely against the wall of the flower bed. The Grand Marshal's anger hasn't subsided yet, flew over, stretched out slender butterfly claws and gave the hawk to kicks, stealing the flower, letting. You stole the flower, Lin ran pulled, opened the curtain and with sleepy eyes, looked toward the backyard, seeing something dark and indistinct embedded in the wall. The sticky dirty thing, what the hell, is that thing still moving? She immediately felt all drowsiness gone, casually grabbed the big iron pot hanging by the wall. She went to the backyard, gripped the large iron wok tightly, walked to the wall, and aimed it at that lump of black, sticky, unidentified object and smashed down. The eagle let out a hysterical cry begging for mercy. Stop hitting, I was wrong, I won't dare again. The bud is about to be beaten to a pulp. Lin Ran was in the midst of beating with passion, when suddenly hearing this familiar voice. You are the one from the street corner, Weishan Zishi? Shopkeeper. Lin Ran didn't know why, he felt a bit like laughing, then he took out his phone and called the police. Police uncle, my home has been. The thief Eagle North couldn't believe it. You actually called the police? The fierce beast you raised beat me up like this and you still called the police? Lin Ran Look at Gloomwing, what nonsense is he talking about? My butterfly is so tiny, so beautiful, definitely not a fierce beast, don't slander it. Fuck it, at most it's just self-defense. Soon the police uncle came to the door. Who stole something? He stole flowers from my shop and also ruined my flower bed. Lin Ran pointed at the hawk still stuck in the wall. Captain Gao stared intently at the hawk for a long time. I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Are you the Eagle family's martial arts? Young master, my butterfly just has a slightly higher combat power. It guards my home for me. Isn't it perfectly normal to attack when you see a thief? As for me, this iron wok of mine is for cooking. I am a mental energy at zero. The Gloomwing's mind is buzzing, repeatedly echoing my butterfly. When did she become yours? This woman is full of nonsense, Captain. Gao stared fixedly at the big iron pot with an inverted cross on it. The whole body broke out in a cold sweat at the sight of that inverted cross. If he wasn't mistaken, it should be from the Federal Capital Star, the emblem of the Supreme Armament, Radiant Society. This weapon, where did this pot come from? Captain Gao asked hoarsely. Along with a family. Custom made by the steel factory, quite sturdy, delivered by express urgent delivery, used for only a few days. At this moment Captain Gao is completely shocked that it can be urgently custom ordered at the Federal Armament Exhaustion Society. What level must that be? It's just going out on a police call to catch a thief late at night. Unexpectedly encountered the Federation. The big shot Captain Gao has already made a decision. Arrest this petty thief, take him back for detention and interrogation. I am from the Eagle family, and the Gao and Eagle families have been friends for generations. How could the Eagle family possibly be short of those 2 coins to steal? Captain Gao Tang Hen glared at Eagle North with hatred. What kind of family friendship is this? You've offended the big shots of the Federation yourself. Don't drag me down with you. Look at those vast stretches of spiritual plants. Do they look like something ordinary people could grow? They must be secrets of the Federation's top brass research project. Flower thief was caught and pushed into the police car. Lin Ran expressed gratitude to Captain Gao and presented a bouquet. Lavender High Team leader is overwhelmed by the favor of the federal big shot. The gift from the shop owner is reassuring. If we encounter trouble in the future, the Bureau will definitely rush over to support at the first moment. Lin Ran saw off Captain Gao looking at the flower bed where the hawk had crashed into, the big pit that came, and the lavender plants that were toppled all over the ground. Decided to deal with the aftermath by first using a shovel to fill in the pit, squatting down, using hands to gather soil and straighten the lavender plants. 3 were crushed, the rest can still be saved. At a glance, Gloomwing looked at her pair of pale hands half buried in the soil, slightly frowning as she supported the plant. His heart, a groundswell of inexplicable guilt, rose within her. She hadn't protected her precious spirit plants well. 3 had died. She was in the flower shop, eating her, the one who lives in her, yet caused this flower bed to suffer loss. Lin Ran took about an hour to restore that flower bed. As for what happened after the bird-shaped hole in the courtyard wall, she found it an eyesore no matter how she looked at it. Last time Arnold helped build the small kitchen, there was still some left. Some construction materials were in the warehouse, so she went to get cement, powder, yellow sand, mixed in some water according to a certain proportion. Mix well, stir evenly, start plastering the wall and wait for the water. The cement has plastered the holes in the wall. The big sun has even come out. Marshall, the whole process quietly, watched a girl like Lin Ran he had never seen before, who could do any kind of work. Farming, cleaning, cooking, and even repairing walls without awakening psychic Abilities or level is a disabled person of the Federation yet does not give up. Rotten, not yielding to class, always so full of vitality, able to do things oneself, never seeking help from others, the class in which Chiming lives. It is the topmost level of the Federal Empire. The women he comes into contact with mostly come from noble and aristocratic families, just like those displayed in shop windows. Gold, silver, jewels, and artificial flowers, exceptionally gorgeous, yet utterly lifeless. Lin's Sicken is completely the opposite. She was born in the mud. At the very bottom of the mire, yet rooted in the mud, it bloomed into fervent, brilliant flowers, their fragrance, overflowing, vibrant, and full of life. Working on repairing the flower bed, forgot to make you breakfast. What would you like to eat? Poached fish, chicken breast, or beef stir-fried with vegetables? Lin Ranshang. Fire cooking, waves of fragrant aroma wafted from the small kitchen to the front hall because the cooking was done quite late today, so at this moment, happiness. The flower shop has opened to welcome customers. Arnold is already working so fragrant. Another day of envying the boss. Arnold secretly swallows. Tasted a bit of saliva. What flavor is this? The customer's nose twitched. A glint of desire appeared in their eyes, automatically secreting digestive saliva. So unique, I've never smelled it in the store before. There are 3 customers in total, and they all smelled the faint scent of cold shredded chicken. All are somewhat uncontrollable, and at this very moment, Lin Ran had already prepared the meal and dishes, bringing them to the front hall. Lin Ran felt that it was paid for. A federal sergeant with such a low salary, yet making her do so much work, so I just cooked a bit more food for Arnold to have a treat. Sacrificing. Arnold was extremely excited. His gaze fell on that bowl of cold shredded chicken on top. Is it for me to eat? Lin Ran nodded. Made too much. You try Arnold's ecstasy. Thank you, store manager, sir. Beside 3 customers are even more unbearably greedy. Excuse me, store manager, is this the 4? Is it the new product from Fukfafong? No, it's home-cooked meals. Lin Ran smiled faintly and said, if you want the new product. Words, I could go fetch. When she was plastering the wall with cement in the early morning, I saw that in those 2 acres of farmland outside the backyard already. There have already sprouted dozens of sunflowers. Lin Ran cut down 10 crimson sunflowers, brought them to the front hall shop. They are so beautiful. Store manager Liang, what's wrong with the sunflower? It sells. The customer's enthusiasm is immediately stirred up, their eyes filled with crave. Gazing intently at the crimson sunflower, Lin Ran thought for a moment. 800 coins per plant, slightly more expensive than lavender, even though it's interstellar. It is the state of spiritual plants being extinct, and she did not ask for an exorbitant price unless it is a complete, reproducible plant. After all, happiness flower shop. The purpose is to bring happiness to the customers. The female customer paid and gleefully took a beautiful selfie holding the sunflower. This girl posting on Moments is a college student from Kingshan City. About 60 to 70% of the posts in her Moments are from classmates. Within minutes, the photo received dozens of likes. Sister is so beautiful. The person is pretty. The flowers are even prettier. Where were the flowers bought? Chen Bai. She also privately messaged her, you bought sunflowers at Happiness Flower Shop. A female college student who can speak with her idol was so excited she almost fell. Tears are still with me, senior. Do you want them? I'll help you bring them. Thank you for the kindness. No need. I want to personally buy. A female university student has won lost and found, but being able to talk to my idol is already a huge progress, she said to Lin Ran. Thank you, shop manager. Your sunflower brought me good luck, Lin. I really like it. The customer's face was so happy and satisfied after buying the flower. Appearance, this will also give her a great sense of achievement. Unlock the flower. Crimson sunflower, warmth increased by Klein bottle's letter. The thought automatically surfaced in his mind, and Lin Ran was taken aback. It had been quite some time since she last paid attention to the happy flower in Klein's bottle. The store's page, with a thought, she decided to check how much this store had grown. 1-star port. Basine, happiness flower shop, warmth level 13, favorability 100. Unlocks flowers, lavender, warmth level 1, crimson sunflower, warmth level 2, rose, pending. Unlocks spiritual plant, lettuce, warmth level 2, coriander, warmth level 2, rice, pending. Unlock farmland, 2 acres, coziness level 6. Lin Ran, after browsing, seemed thoughtful about purchasing farmland. The added coziness is higher than opening. Posting a flower still requires more views, and in the future, one still needs to earn more money. Actively buy land to unlock the cycle of spiritual plants for flowers. It's quite long, ranging from half the month to 1 or 2 months, not as fast as buying land. Buying land can be settled in a day. She checked it out. The current account, half of month 1.1 million coins. She made a plan for herself on the side of the interstellar world. The money earned is used to buy land and expand the scale of the flower shop, while the money made from trading diamonds on Earth is used to expand clay. The space of the Klein bottle is, correct, buying that apartment as the anchor point for traversing. Currently, the state inside the Klein bottle is still shattered. The narrow and useless item only allows me to cross back and forth once every 20 days. There are also restrictions on crossing. It cannot be used at will. Freely coming and going, wearing it once a day is a dream. Transporting and reselling it every day is also a fantasy. She was previously in the bedroom, who tried to jump anchor point once but failed. Ling Ran counted the days. The next time he could jump the anchor point was still. There are 5 days, no rush. These 5 days first focus on doing the sunflower business well and expanding it. At noon, Ling Ran will go to sunflower again. In the half-acre flower field, looking, I was surprised to find another large batch of flower buds have bloomed, growing so fast, truly worthy of facing the sun. The flowers that bloom in the morning only open 40 or 50 when the sunlight is weak. Now, at high noon, the scorching sun is blazing and they've exploded into full bloom. 300 or so golden butterflies fluttered among the flowers, now sipping nectar, now sipping medicinal herbs. The leaf of value, is it not a joy, Marshall? The mood is very good. Butterflies are naturally fond of seas of flowers. The butterfly's love for the flower is like a fish leaving. The water shop owner is not here. The sunflowers are sold out. Customers are still in line. They won't leave if they can't buy them. What should we do? A voice came from behind. Come, Arnold's voice is fine. You go tell them happiness flower shop will still sell 30 sunflowers in limited quantities today. Over 300 blooms have burst forth. Picking 30 is not excessive since this variety of flower is particularly prone to bursting the pot. The blooms can be short. Within the time frame, many have grown, waiting for this half-acre to fully bloom. Even selling 300 a day would be sufficient to supply well. Arnold showed a delighted expression. He went to the front hall shop to announce the good news. The guests immediately burst into cheers. Fantastic. 30 flowers definitely can buy. Ling Ran holding just cut 30 sunflowers, walked in. At first glance saw the lop-eared bunny boy sells you 2 of the Siamese rabbit bureau chiefs we saw last time at the Land Administration Bureau. Their ears are upright. The gray-black gradient is different for this little boy. He is authentically white and tender with drooping ears. Thank you, beautiful sister. Just now he was still whimpering. The lop-eared rabbit little boy's eyes instantly lit up. The lop-eared rabbit little boy's cheeks flushed with a rosy blush, bought to give to big brother. He said he likes happiness. The flowers at the flower shop. Ling Ran handed over the sunflower. Your brother is also a rabbit, a lop-eared bunny boy. The child nodded. He was a gray rabbit with ears standing straight up. When it gets cold, the rabbit's fur will turn black. Ling Ran was taken aback. A Siamese rabbit? No way. What a coincidence. Lop-eared rabbit. The little boy is very excited. My brother is a Siamese rabbit. Our family are all lop-eared rabbits, white ones. Only he is a Siamese rabbit. The dusty father doesn't like his color, but I think the grayish black is very handsome. Your brother is the brother called Zhongtang. How does the shop manager know? The lop-eared rabbit little boy is pleasantly surprised. I call Zhang Zhuo. Behind the little boy, the well-dressed steward darkened his face. Young master, you must not casually reveal your name to outsiders. The family head does not allow it. The little boy with rabbit ears pouted his lips, muttering unhappily. Am I not allowed to make friends anymore? Ling Ran, however, had already guessed. The identity of this little rabbit is out. Zhang Zhuo, the young master of Mayor Zhongtang of Qingshan City. It was him whom he had previously encountered at the Land Management Bureau when it was time for the Siamese rabbit bureau chief to sign the land purchase agreement. He saw the bureau chief's official seal signature. Zhongtang and Zhang Zhuo. I know your brother. We are cousins and I bought land with him. Ling Ran feels that since he has settled in Qingshan City, he should run the flower shop well. It is necessary to build good relationships. The remaining sunflowers were left to Arnold. Ling Ran went to the backyard flower garden and picked 10. A piece of lettuce leaf washed clean with water, placed into a crystal box, handed to Zhang Zhuo to give to you without who. Carrots and Timothy hay, if he remembers correctly. Rabbits also like to eat lettuce. It smells so good. What is this, lop-eared? The rabbit Zhang Zhuo stared straight at the lettuce leaf, just smelling its light, fresh fragrance, and uncontrollably drooled. The lettuce looks delicious. I eat it every day. You can have it as a snack, then I'll take a bite of the lop-eared rabbit. Zhang Zhuo, biting into the light green lettuce leaves, the fresh, tender juice, and the crisp texture immediately captivated him. So delicious. Ah, so crisp and sweet. I've never eaten anything so deli. Shiz, little bunny said while crunching on the lettuce leaves. Tears are rolling down again. He feels like he was born to eat this, not that terrible tasting nutrition. Young master, don't eat things given by strangers. They are unclean. What if something happens? That butler frowned deeply. Frowning, he made a move to throw away the lettuce leaf inside. I don't want it. Just eat it. The lop-eared rabbit got anxious, hurriedly took the whole piece. The lettuce leaves were all stuffed into his mouth, chewing vigorously. The steward made a move to snatch them, pleading, young master, please, don't be willful. Although Zhangzhuo was only 8 years old, but he was exceptionally agile. Holding the crystal box filled with lettuce, he dashed towards Ling Ran's side, turned into a white shadow, waiting for Ling Ran's consciousness to come to. When it did, it discovered Zhangzhuo had already transformed into a lop-eared white rabbit appearance. Crouched on his shoulder, a small, fluffy ball, very soft, putting down the young master. The Zhang family's steward's face changed dramatically. You, this woman with a 0-level spiritual power, is not worthy of touching my young master. Even the servants in the house have a much higher level than you. Ling Ran doesn't like hearing this, really, always emphasizing he's disabled. I just touched. Ling Ran provocatively looked at the Zhang family's steward. Take a look, reach out and stroke the little bunny's soft fur. The Zhang family steward stared in disbelief at Ling Ran. You quickly take your dirty hands. Pried open Ling Ran's lips from the young master's body, a smirk curling at the corner. This child is willing, he said, then rubbed the round, fluffy head again. The rabbit-headed Zhangzhuo indeed did not dodge, happily munching on lettuce leaves, letting the shop manager's sister pet him with the air of a Zhang family steward. Furious and flustered, he rushed forward to snatch the little lop-eared rabbit back. The young master is first class, a genius of the Zhang family, not yours. This lowly scum's cursing abruptly ceased. A golden butterfly gracefully landed on top of Ling Ran's head. With a condescending, disdainful gaze, icy cold, she glanced at him just once, and the Zhang family steward felt as if his soul were being strangled. The immense terror of dwelling in the instant their eyes met, his brain seemed to be controlled, his body no longer his own. He was like a... The puppet slowly raised its right hand, spread its 5 fingers, and clutched its own throat, squeezing tighter and tighter. Zhang family. The attendant wanted to shout, wanted to scream, but simply couldn't make a sound. Every nerve, every muscle was tightly controlled. Not even a sound is allowed. The marshal is very angry. Last night, a flower thief came and damaged Ling Ran's backyard. Park. Today during the day there actually came another scumbag who cursed and spewed filth from his mouth. The store manager will protect this store well. Protect him well. No more mistakes of any kind are allowed. You dare to scold him, he can grow a garden full of flowers he can bring to the plain shoe star system. Come hope to restore the stars to green once more. And what kind of thing are you? The golden butterfly surfaced in the mind of the Zhang family's steward. His spiritual power transmitted sound. He is the Zhang family's most senior steward. His combat prowess is not weak, yet at this moment he couldn't even withstand a single move from the other party. The words couldn't be resisted at all. My brain felt as if it had been swept up by a storm of frenzied blades. Excruciating pain rolled out. This is not the place where you can run wild. The Zhang family steward's body was directly washed, flying out, heavily crashing onto the street, controlled by the fine pupils. The restraint was lifted, and the Zhang family steward stopped choking his own neck. But with this fall, his old back made a cracking sound, hurting so much he wailed incessantly. There aren't many people on this street, but hearing the commotion, they all looked over as if it came from the happy flower shop. Fuck me, the Zhang family dares to hit people. What the outsiders gossip about. Ling Ran doesn't care. Right now he's completely absorbed in petting the rabbit. Unable to extricate oneself, the lop-eared rabbit was fiercely subdued by Gloomwing's strength. It's to rabbit paused dumbfoundedly, clutching the lettuce leaf. Gloomwing. He glanced lightly at the little bunny occupying the usual position of this marshal. The lop-eared rabbit, Zhangzhuo, only felt his skin tighten. Curling up into a ball, it nuzzled against Ling Ran's neck, seeking a sense of security. Gloomwing's eyes narrowed dangerously. Get up. The foot flipped over a somersault, falling from Ling Ran's shoulder. And it was fortunate that Ling Ran had been stroking him all along, so he could. At the first moment when the lop-eared rabbit fell from the shoulder, I caught him with my palm, picking him up so carelessly and disheveled. Ran held the little bunny and went to the backyard flower garden. Zhangzhuo was stunned by this. What is this? Countless beautiful lavender flowers. Field, beautiful green leaves, hundreds of that kind of Delicious lettuce, is this heaven? Little bunny slips right out from Ling Ran's palm, flew and dashed into the flower field happily, rolling among countless flower branches and green leaves at a glance. Looking out, it's all green, the nose is filled with the leaf fragrance that rabbits find intoxicating and addictive, rolling over several times in a row, all sorts of. The frolicking child simply has no self-control, getting so worked up like this. This Marshall would never lose composure, so inelegantly like a butterfly's wings. The ground gathered up on Ling Ran's hair just like a golden butterfly hair clip lop-eared rabbit, Zhangzhuo playing in the flower bed. For a full half hour, Ling Ran took him again to play in the sunflower field for a while to prevent the adults at home from worrying. Ling Ran called the director of the Land Bureau, Siamese Rabbit Zhang Tanga. Phone call. Siamese Rabbit director's voice was full of surprise. You're looking for me. Planning to buy land again, not buying now, next month then buy it. Ling Ran paused. Your brother, Zhangzhuo, is at my shop. You come pick him up, I'll be right there. The Siamese rabbit chief obviously cares a lot about his lop-eared rabbit brother and will be out in 20 minutes. Now at the Happiness Flower Shop, where's the little table at the entrance? There. Ling Ran brought the Siamese rabbit, the bureau chief, to the edge of the sunflower field, pointing. He pointed at the lop-eared rabbit that had already rolled into the color of dirt. He had originally thought Zhang Tang would pick up his younger brother and take him home. But in the flower field, there is an additional gray-black Siamese rabbit rolling around in the flower field with the lop-eared rabbit having a great time. Ling Ran watches this scene. The heart has been healed. Furry things are truly beautiful. Gloomwing looked at its own wings. No fur again. Look at my own butterfly's delicate claws. Every year I am rated as the #1 most wanted man to marry in the Plainshu Galaxy, the most wanted to hug. The man in first place, you, Tai, are the most perfect #1. Marshall, the mood instantly turned not beautiful. Lin Ran squatted down, accompanying the little bunny for a while, took the chance to pet it a couple of times, of course. Only stroking the 7 or 8-year-old lop-eared bunny Zhangzhuo, not touching the older ones. After the adult Siamese rabbit ginger candy to avoid causing unnecessary misunderstandings, they played until around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Lin Ran. The shop has welcomed another special guest, Chen Bai, carrying a drawing board on his back, a handsome male college student with sparkling eyes. Wearing the light of anticipation, I heard that your shop has started selling sunflowers. Lin Ran nodded. Yes, please, wait a moment, I promised you before. You gave me a free gift of some happiness. The flower shop initially gained a bit of popularity. Chen Bai can be said to have played an indispensable role. That painting of lavender, the realistic drawing of the grass, played an immense role. He had always been grateful to the shop manager. No need to send flowers. Chen Bai felt a bit embarrassed. Sida scratched his head. I heard you have a flower garden. I don't want flowers. You let me go into the flower garden to paint a picture, okay? Lin Ran smiled. Sure. He didn't let people into the backyard flower garden before because the garden was too small, not much in it, a bit shabby. Scared, but now it's not that same. His flower garden has begun to take shape. He doesn't mind inviting friends to visit the life he uses. The vegetable gained the favor of the mayor's young son, inviting him to play in the flower garden. Inviting the Siamese Rabbit Bureau chief was because it would be needed in the future. Long-term buying of wasteland, buying land, continuously expanding the planting area and the scale of the flower shop. Inviting Chen Bain is even more necessary now. Mrs. Bai's paintings are truly exceptional for the flower shop. They are the best promotional display. Chen Bai's joy is clearly written all over his face. Thank you, store manager. I just want to paint a sunflower sea. He followed behind Lin Ran and entered the backyard within sight. The purple lavender flower bed sways in the gentle breeze, waves so beautiful. It left him speechless, his thin lips half parted, unable to utter a sound. The lavender fragrance permeating the air in the room has the effect of soothing nerves and relieving fatigue. Chen Bai gradually relaxed his entire person. Matsushita came down, entered a state of profound mystery. Inspiration surged up wildly. He wanted to capture this absolutely beautiful sea of flowers on paper, even if he can only capture 1% of its beauty. Don't you want to see that sunflowers over here? Lin Ran. Because every day I go down to the ground to plant flowers, so seeing it often leaves me with little feeling. I can't really empathize with the shock of Chen Bai Jiang and Zhuo Jiangtang. The number of sunflower plants is much greater than that of lavender. Sunflowers are planted on a full half mu of land, which is 333 square meters. And the small flower bed in the backyard is only about a few dozen square meters. It's not a scale where Chen Bai's eyes can take in nothing but scenery. is a native-born Sulu Galaxy person obsessed with the floral spiritual plants of the ancient star epic, the shock of seeing it with my own eyes. The scene imagined in my mind was completely different from reality. The moment Chen Baiyu was pulled by Lin, ran to stand before the sunflower field. Unable to restrain, a thin layer of mist rises at the corner of the eye, light blooms in full splendor, growing towards the sun, never regretting the confession of all the blood in the body until death. The liquid boils, infected by the crimson sunflower, he reveals a dazed smile. This is my distance from the ultimate vitality. The most recent time he was utterly captivated by extreme beauty, he could no longer hear any sound from the outside world. Spread out the drawing board and used the most intense and fervent colors have been applied, and now the outlining begins, depicting vast stretches of vibrant sunflowers as if they have lived on the paper.